Hello again, Tool.tv viewers. I know it's been a little while, and I'm not going to chalk this up to anything except for just laziness and busyness on my part. I know that's the answer about 9 times out of 10. But anyway, over the last year and a half, as you know, I've lost quite a bit of weight, and a lot of the questions that I get tend to be focusing mainly on how I lost the weight and things that sort of attributed to it. Well, if you remember, if you've been following the channel long enough, in August of 2012, I participated in what was called Veda, where I tried to vlog every day in August. One of those days was about this item that I'm standing here in front of. This is the LifeSpan Fitness TR1200-DT5. It's a treadmill desk. So as you can see, I'm here at the desk. This is what I use as my work surface. I don't use it 100% of the time. Obviously, I work a day job where I actually work at a standing desk 8 hours of the day, or however many hours I'm actually there. And then I come home and I do spend some time at my normal desk. And in the evenings, a lot of times I'll spend at least an hour or two here watching videos or working on videos or any number of other things that I tend to do when I'm here at home. So I just wanted to kind of give you my thoughts and impressions on it after having owned it for about a year and a half and for having used it for a decent amount of time during that time. Now, first and foremost, I should say I'm not affiliated with LifeSpan Fitness in any way. They're not sponsoring this or anything. I have dealt with their customer service people through Twitter a little bit, and they are very, very nice people. They actually have directed me to their customer service line, which I need to call because, as you may have noticed, if you've looked up the LifeSpan desk, the model that I have here is actually the old model. And I mentioned it's several years old at this point, so it's not brand new. It's not, the latest, greatest thing on the market. And really, my biggest complaint about it after having owned it for 2 years is that it's not smart in any way. Now, for what I do with it, I don't need it to be smart. I don't need an automatically adjusting desk surface that goes up and down because I've set it to where I am. If I were sharing it and using it regularly back and forth with my wife or with my son or anybody else in the family, it might be a bigger deal where it's just me using it about 90% of the time. My wife does occasionally use it. But when it's just me using it most of the time, we don't need to adjust the desk surface. And like I was saying, my biggest sort of gripe about it, and it's really not a big deal, is there is no connectivity. So the data that I get from the little built-in computer here, there's no way to get it out, no way to send it to anything else. There is an updated brain component of this device in a newer model that you can apparently get for this. The newer model comes with it, obviously. Mine did not because it was not an option at the time. So I'm going to be getting in touch with them on the phone and see what it's going to cost to do that upgrade, because having some way to actually synchronize this over Bluetooth with my desktop or with my smartphone would be very, very nice. For the time being, though, what I've just been doing is using the Fitbit. I track my steps on that all the time, every day. And of course, I can track steps just as easily with a pedometer as I could using the computer built into the device. But using the computer on the device, we might get a little better idea as to actual calories burned. Who really knows? So I've sort of gone off on a weird tangent here. Overall, my thoughts and impressions on this after having used it for, like I said, about a year and a half now, built extremely well. The treadmill has held up very well. When I started out and I was using it on a daily basis, I was probably going about half a mile an hour to a mile an hour working while I was walking. At this point, after having used it for, like I said, a year and a half now, I'm able to sit here and work editing videos, which actually I do most of my video editing over at my main desk, but I do edit some videos over here. Primarily, I watch videos and do research at this desk, but while using this desk for the working that I do, or whatever it is that I'm doing here, I'm normally walking now at about 3 miles an hour, which has been excellent for my weight, for my fitness, for general cardiovascular everything, and to be able to move and get some work done at the same time has been awesome. And as I said, I've been doing that for about 2 years now, so this has held up extremely well. I've got this huge work surface that I can use that, of course, I haven't been changing around other than when I just randomly decided to rearrange the room. As you can probably tell from the layout, I'm in a completely different part of the room than when I made the last video back in August 2012. I will go ahead and put a link to that video down below so you can see sort of the before and after, because I'm in a similar color. Just happened to notice the shirt that I'm wearing. Random off topic here, I actually got contacted a couple of weeks ago, or a week ago, by Sarah from Lose It. This is not paid product placement or anything. They just contacted me and said, hey, we saw your video and how you mentioned Lose It, and we were very pleased to see the transformation that has happened thanks to Lose It, or thanks in part to Lose It. So we want to send you a shirt to sort of thank you for promoting our product. I said, cool, thanks. Here's my P.O. box address, which, by the way, you can find down in the video description as well. So that was a bit of a weird aside there. Shirt arrived today, fits very, very nicely, and this is a medium American Apparel shirt, which is just wonderful. But back to the treadmill desk itself, like I said, it is put up very well with me for this 2 years that I've had it. Walking on it 3 miles an hour, or I started off slower and then sped up over time. And honestly, I haven't really done any sort of maintenance to it. And I know I should be doing some regular maintenance to it, like lubing up the tread and things like that, but other than just dusting occasionally, I haven't really done anything to it and has been just fine. So yeah, if I had to find complaints about it, the obvious ones would be, like I said, no smart connectivity. It's only got a serial port that goes out and comes into this little computer here, and that's about it. The other extremely obvious thing, if you have been around it at all, is the beep. The built-in computer on this older model had one teeny tiny little speaker in it that is just very, very loud, and I'm going to demonstrate quickly. And basically every time you want to do anything, you hear that no matter what you touch. And so when I hit start, for example, yeah, and I cannot pre-program in what speed I want to go to. I'm just going to start off at 0.4 miles an hour. So if I wanted to get up to 3 miles an hour, this is going to be fun. There we go. That's 3 miles an hour. And I have to do that every single time I touch the device. So having some way to interact with it through Bluetooth and say, go to 3 miles an hour would be great. Having a button that says, go to 1 mile an hour faster, that would be great. But other than that, you know, as you see, every time I touch it, it's, yeah, more beeping, more beeping, more beeping. And this is actually a lot quieter than when I bought it, because I even took the top off of this computer section and I put some electrical tape over it to kind of take it down just a notch. From what I understand, you can actually put a dab of hot glue on top of it and it will muffle it even more. But I don't have a hot glue gun and I didn't bother to buy one for that instance. But overall, just to sort of round things up and wrap things up, I've been incredibly pleased with this so far. You can actually make something very similar yourself without having to pay the amount that you would have to pay for one of these, because retail price on this is about $1,300. I paid $800 or so for it 2 years ago because I found a really good deal online. But if you wanted to make something yourself, you can obviously run out to IKEA and buy a table and some very long legs and put the bottom part of a treadmill underneath it with, you know, you take the controller off. It really depends on your treadmill as to how that's going to work. Alternatively, of course, you can just get a table and put, you know, longer legs on it in any number of ways. You can do a DIY method to do this, but this is sort of an all-in-one solution that is extremely sturdy, and the desk itself is very high quality, just like you'd find in sort of commercial office space, with a really nice armrest in it, so I cannot complain about it at all. I mean, I could definitely have laid on this when I was still heavy Jordan, and it would have been just fine. I haven't actually checked to see what the rated weight is for this, but the majority of stuff I've had on here, I've had, let's see, I've had a laptop and this 26-inch monitor, which, as you can see, I'm actually using at the moment. I'm researching stuff about the Mobile World Congress that's going on. But I've been able to use this for, you know, research work. I've been able to hook Chromecast up to this and use it as a media machine. Currently, I'm not actually at my desk. My desk is on the other end of the room, and so I have an HDMI cable going from here to the other end of the room, and everything else is hooked up wirelessly, so I'm able to control my whole setup from here, even though it's way over there. And because of this, you probably can see it here, yeah, I've got a little section to run cables down through the device. That's been very handy for running USB cables. At this point, I've got a Qi charger that I can place my Nexus 5 onto. Found a really, really good deal on that a couple of months ago, and I'm still working on a bit of a roundup of some different Qi chargers. That's another random off topic there. But anyway, like I said, to sum things up, this desk has been excellent to me. It's definitely been essential to my weight loss journey. Even though it's not 100% necessary, it's been extremely helpful for me when I come home from work to be able to say, oh no, I've only got 5,000 steps in. I need to make sure I get at least 5,000 more so that I meet my minimum goals for the day. So I come home, I hit a couple of buttons, and I'm walking for about an hour and a half or 2 hours, and I'm good to go. I haven't seen any mechanical issues out of it yet. I haven't seen any, wearing, tearing, or breaking of this top part, other than really the padding here on the side. It's not wearing out or anything. There's some points in the seam of it where it might be coming loose a little bit, but it's not falling apart or anything. It's held together very nicely. So all in all, if you are interested in the idea of a treadmill desk, LifeSpan is definitely an amazing company to work with. Not paid sponsorship, not product placement. This is something that I paid for out of my own pocket, and because I was so impressed seeing it in other people's offices, seeing it in friends online in their offices and things like that, I just had to go ahead and try one for myself. And this is sort of my testimonial to the fact that after having used it for a couple of years, it can definitely make a difference for your life. It can definitely make a difference for your productivity at home. Cannot recommend it highly enough. But that is going to be about all for me for today, because I've actually got another couple of thousand steps I need to get in before the rest of the evening is over. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll try to be back at you again very soon. I've got, as you've seen from my previous videos, I've got a lot of stuff that I've kind of backlogged that I need to get through reviewing, and I've got a lot of that coming for you soon. Thank you so much for watching, guys, though, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye, guys.